Good evening. So, last class we spoke about mindfulness and just creating that presence and loving awareness as to what is going on in the present moment. And today we are going to talk about creating a deepen focus through learning how to use an anchor. And essentially that is going to be mindfulness of breath. Let me explain a little. So, as we deepen our practice and deepen our capacity for presence, it is very important for us to be able to establish an anchor. So when I say anchor, it's almost like an anchor. You have this anchor that's holding the boat down to the sand, right? The boat is anchored to the bottom of the sea. No matter what storms are coming through, the boat just rocks back and forth. It doesn't move. Actually, it moves, but it doesn't leave. So in essence, what we want to do as we are deepening our practice is we want to be able to learn how to ride those waves with an anchor, staying anchored to a stabilization. So we want a focused attention on something. So when I say that, we can get swept away by all the different experiences that are going on while we're meditating. So if you are sitting here meditating, you can hear all the different noises going on. And then you start to think about the noises. You can feel the different sensations in your body. And then you start to almost get attached to those sensations. And then, then you feel a stomach ache coming. A thought comes. And the next thing you know, you're not meditating anymore. Your mind is essentially all over the place. So when we find a particular anchor that helps us stabilize in this meditation, it helps us almost focused on something where everything is going on around us. We notice it. It's almost as if it's in our peripheral vision, but we're not getting taken away by the different experiences. So through mindfulness of breath, typically that is the most universal meditation. The most universal anchor in meditation is mindfulness of breath. Why? Because it's so easy. It's a moment away. If we start to see ourselves get caught up in something, it's as simple as just taking that breath, right? As well as, depending on where it's easier for you, and I'm going to go over that in a few different examples, but there's different ways we can bring presence to our breath, not just by forcing it to come in and out of our nose. All right, so first of all, I want you to think of it as this way. Imagine, close your eyes for a moment. I invite you to close your eyes. My eyes are closed too. So imagine you are in a restaurant and you have to order your food at the counter. So you order this hot cup of tea and it's filled to the rim. And now you have to get from that counter to your table with this full cup of tea. Now your focus is so focused on that cup of tea because you want to get to your table and you don't want to spill it. So as you're walking, I want you to visualize this right now. As you're walking to your table, visualize yourself looking down at that cup of tea. And you're walking to your table. And in your visualization, I want you to bring to attention, to your mind, the different sounds that might be going on. People moving, chairs moving. It's noisy. Now, as you're walking to your table, you notice all the sounds going on around you. You notice the movement, but you're not getting caught up in it. Your focus is on that cup of tea, and you're walking to your table calmly, quietly, with focus, but in your peripheral vision, you can hear and feel and sense all of everything going on, all the busyness going on. But again, you're not getting swept away by it. Now that is what we want to do when we are anchored in our breath, or whatever anchor that will be. So, again, when we don't get swept away by the distractions and the experience and everything that's going on around us, we can stay focused on exactly what it is that we're trying to be present with. Whether it's work, our children, a paper you have to write, talking with your partner, you are able to stay present with them. And it's through deepening your practice that you learn how to be stronger in your presence. So again, remember, what is presence entail of? 2 wings. Awareness to what is, and besides that, allowing it to be here and observing it with this non-judgmental attention and curiosity. Okay? So again, not only is our breath the first gift that we are born with and the last thing to go with us, but think of it this way: we are interconnected with the universe, with nature, with everybody around us through breath. We are all connected to each other as the trees breathe, the ocean breathes, so are you. So through mindfulness of breath, you're not trying to control it when you meditate, and you might notice that you might even have a little bit of fear of trying to watch your breath. It was difficult for me because when I was a child, I used to get suffocated with a pillow a lot. So it has taken some practice, and just know if you have any difficulty with breath, that's okay as well. I can help you with creating an anchor with something else that's not your breath. But tonight we are just talking about finding that stabilized attention with an anchor. Okay? Now through the breath, we can sense the rise and fall of our stomach as our anchor. We can feel maybe the air coming in through our nostrils, exiting through our nostrils, feeling the air on your upper lip. Another way is the rise and fall of your chest. So again, I'm going to ask you just this moment, let's do one more practice. I invite you just to close your eyes. Maybe take in a deep breath in through your nose, exhaling with a loud sigh. And I invite you now to just observe your breath and wherever it's most comfortable for you. Not trying to change or fix it, just observing with that non-judgmental, loving attention. Where do you notice your breath? So I'm going to quiet my voice for just a moment, and I want you to just notice. Where do you feel or sense your breath? Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and slowly opening your eyes. All right, so where did you sense your breath? If you can, go ahead and write in the comments on where it was easiest for you to bring attention to your breath. For me, it's really easy, and I feel safe listening and focusing on my breath when I can hear it. So I would just listen to the exiting and entering through my nostrils. That is what works for me. But sometimes it could be the felt sense of the rise and fall of your belly, or just putting your hand on your belly or on your chest. All right, so I hope you understood why it's important to find this anchor. And if you can't quite understand it, just think of that cup of tea. All right, and have a beautiful night, and go ahead and watch my meditation on establishing an anchor.